Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Jurassic World Rebirth. And I had to reread the title a couple of times because I kept forgetting what it's actually called because it just doesn't stick with me like the other ones for some reason. Maybe I'm just not used to it. I can remember all the other Jurassic World titles: Fallen Kingdom, Dominion, and now we have Rebirth. The Jurassic Park movies that I like the first one. It's my favorite Spielberg movie. Really love it a lot. And the second movie, I actually like it quite a bit. Hot take, I know. And Jurassic World is alright. I can come back to it. It's kind of somewhat nostalgic for me. It's not amazing or anything, but I can watch it. And that's about it. The rest of them are kind of bad. Like, not worth watching at all. And my least favorite used to be Jurassic Park 3. I always found that movie to be like really boring. I've only seen it once, but just from that one viewing, I always felt as though it was a 90-minute film that felt like 3 hours long. I think I might actually prefer the third movie over this one. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if this one's better or worse than the previous two Jurassic World movies, because I barely remember them. But from what I can remember is that there are a couple moments and scenes that kind of stick with me because they're just so dumb, or just something about them just like sticks with me and I can remember it. Whereas this one, the only reason why I remember anything about it is because of how things were just dumb and frustrating. Like, this is probably the most frustrating Jurassic World movie I've seen. Like, it was actually just infuriating. I think, scratch that. I'm going to just call this movie one word, and that is infuriating. I was genuinely annoyed with the choices that it was making in terms of its presentation, and I just found it to be completely unacceptable. And I kind of left the theater angry. There was one person when walking out of the theater, and he said that I want a refund. And that made the experience like just that moment right there made it worth it for me. Like, that was really funny to me. But to get into my actual thoughts on the movie, because I'm sure you're curious as to what I actually think of the movie, we'll go through some positives. I do think that the movie looks nice. It's not terribly shot at any point, from what I can remember. And this movie is directed by Gareth Edwards. And as a director, I don't hate Gareth Edwards. His movies, from what I can remember, usually look nice in terms of how it's presented visually. And I felt as though that was the same for this movie. And I do feel as though it's probably the best looking Jurassic World movie in terms of how it's shot, even if that isn't really saying all that much considering its competition. Like, it's the best looking Jurassic Park movie since the Spielberg ones. I can say that much about it. I do feel as though there were moments where I did enjoy the music. That wasn't just like the Jurassic Park theme just redone all over again, or during the action scenes. Like, in the non-action or dialogue scenes, I felt as though the music wasn't bad. Like, I didn't hate it or find it offensive. I was like, okay, this isn't terrible at the very least. And obviously, with it being a Jurassic World film, you're expecting some loud noises and sound design. And there's some fun sound design choices in this movie. Like, you get to hear dinosaurs roaring, and, that's fun. But in terms of positives, like, surprisingly, that's it. I didn't feel as though the performances were really all that great. Like, Scarlett Johansson, she's a really great... I usually love her in everything that I've seen her in, whether it be in Wes Anderson films or Under the Skin, or like any number of films that I can just think of, oh, she's in that, and she's usually great. But in this movie, she had like literally nothing to work with. She's supposed to be a strong woman character physically and is smart. And that's it. Not much to work with there. And there's also plenty of attempts at comedy sprinkled throughout the film, and I just did not enjoy those moments very much. And really, a lot of performances just felt held back, and there were plenty of characters that just didn't need to be there, like the one family characters. Like, I felt as though they could have been cut out of the movie entirely, and the movie would have been not only shorter, but also faster paced, because I was definitely bored at a couple points just because of those characters. But I will say this much about them is that they do have the most memorable scene in the film involving the T Rex. And that's probably the best scene in the movie for me, even though it's just a simple chase scene. It was kind of fun somewhat, and I didn't feel as though it was boring. And there were definitely moments where I was like infuriated with how things were presented, like characters just teleport, and even the T Rex teleported at a certain moment where it was just like sleeping, and then a boat just moves in front of it, and then it just disappears without a noise. And when that happened, I was like, we're really doing this? Seriously? And that's when the movie just like slowly started to really become frustrating for me, and I just couldn't stand it. And there were so many opportunities for this movie to be like doing something new or doing something fun or creative, have a standout action scene with dinosaurs fighting, because that's what these Jurassic World movies offer, is fights with dinosaurs. Like, we got that in the first Jurassic World movie. We got that a little bit in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, from what I can remember. And this one, no. They just run away from the big dinosaur thing or whatever. That's a hybrid, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing really fun about it. I kind of like its design, but in terms of what they do with it, I just didn't really care for what they did for it. And I'm not even kidding you. There were points in the first act where it's basically just Jaws. I'm not even kidding you. There were so many points where I was just thinking of Jaws, and I was like, I wish I was watching that over this. And there's just nothing really at stake in this movie that I really cared about. Like, I never once believed any of the characters were in danger. I never once felt as though what I was supposed to be engaged with was anything genuine or real. It all just felt artificial and hollow to me. And speaking of things that were hollow, at least half of the time in this movie, the visual effects for the dinosaurs didn't really look all that great, which is so sad, because this franchise is just like known for its visual effects and how it like pioneered using so many visual effects in that first movie. But in this movie, like half of the time, they just didn't look all that great. They just didn't really feel like they were a part of the environment in terms of their colors or textures. Sometimes they looked a little bit like a ghost almost. Not necessarily in every scene. It was mostly in the daytime scenes, outside of the T-Rex scene that I kind of touched on a little bit. Like, that looked great, and when it was at night, I thought it looked fine for the most part. But when it's during the day, that's where it kind of looks a little weak to me. And I kind of want to talk about the financial success of this movie, and talk about these Jurassic World movies a little bit in terms of how successful they've been. And the first Jurassic World film, it grossed like $1.6 billion. It was a pretty big movie. And the other two grossed over $1 billion, but this one hasn't quite hit that yet. And I'm highly doubting that it's going to, but I'm sure it's going to make its money back, even if it doesn't gross $1 billion. Supposedly it had $180 million budget, and it's grossed $769 million, so I'm sure they'll make their money back. If not now, then maybe within a week or so. This movie also tries to set up a new world building to this universe and certain rules, and I personally just didn't really care for all that kind of stuff. And sure, that can be really fun for people who are really interested in this universe and want to know all the lore, want to know everything that there is to know about dinosaurs in this specific universe. However, I just didn't feel as though it added much to the film, and it also kind of felt like a bit of a waste of time. And Also, most of it just didn't really make any sense to me in terms of like where the plot goes and what they kind of do with certain ideas. I was like, are we really supposed to be rooting, yay, we did something right here or there? Because I was kind of questioning, how do you honestly expect this to play out? Not spoiling it too much by keeping it vague, but there's just some stuff in this movie that could have been a lot better. And that's about all I have to say about Jurassic World Rebirth. It wasn't good. It was infuriating. Most of the performances I didn't really believe. I didn't care for the characters. I didn't care for the story. The visual effects looked fake half the time to me, or just something was really off. And the movie looks nice. That's like its biggest strength, and some fun sound design choices at points, and not terrible music throughout most of it. But outside of that, I didn't take away much from this film, and maybe I'll see it again if I were to rank all of these Jurassic Park / World movies, but I don't really want to see it again. And we're definitely going to get more of these, even if this movie doesn't gross over $1 billion. So I just hope that we get better scripts for these movies, because they're just not working out very well. And also, it's kind of just like the same thing over and over again. They're not adding anything new that's all that interesting. Like, I feel as though just recycling the old ideas, but not really doing much with them outside of adding a hybrid dinosaur, is really doing the franchise any favors. Especially at this point. Like, we've seen all of these things before. It's just not working anymore. I also kind of wanted to mention that I did rewatch Jurassic Park again, and I haven't seen it in a while, and really loved it. I do feel as though I got more out of it this time, just like tiny things, but I did feel as though there was more to appreciate from this viewing, and I bumped it up from a 9 to a 10. Really love the movie. We'll definitely be watching it more times. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Jurassic World Rebirth a 3 out of 10. I was considering giving it a 2, but I'll be a bit generous and say it's a 3 out of 10, but we'll call it like a low 3 out of 10. Like, there are some things in it that bump it up just enough for me not to fully hate this movie. Watch the first two and Jurassic World if you want. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Jurassic World Rebirth, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Monsters, Inc. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.